Hello and welcome to our onboarding webinar for the Essential Digital Skills Qualification. You'll see on the screen now what we are going to cover in this session. The session focuses on the Essential Digital Skills Qualification at Entry Level 3 and Level 1. My name is Rachel Webster. I'm one of NCFE's Provider Development Officers. I'm responsible for supporting centres through the planning, onboarding and CPD process for NCFE qualifications, focusing on our digital offer. I would just like to begin by asking you your current confidence levels. Please note down your response so you can compare this later on. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low and 10 being high, how would you rate your current confidence level regarding your knowledge and understanding of the Essential Digital Skills Qualification? Okay then, so moving on now to the qualification overview and purpose. Essential digital skills are more important than ever. In 2020, we experienced a world where face-to-face communication wasn't possible, and therefore having a grasp on digital technology and communication was vital to stay connected. The purpose of the Essential Digital Skills Qualification at Entry Level 3 and Level 1 is to allow learners to demonstrate understanding of and competency in the essential digital skills they need for life, including work at Level 1. It will enable learners to engage with digital services and products in everyday life and work. Learners who achieve the Entry Level 3 qualification could progress to Level 1 EDSQ, and learners who achieve at Level 1 can progress to a suitable Level 2 qualification. Centres are responsible for ensuring that this qualification is appropriate for the age and ability of your learners, and you also need to make sure that learners can fulfil the requirements of the learning outcomes and comply with the relevant literacy, numeracy and health and safety aspects of the qualification. Now, if we take a look at the statistics on the screen and just reflect on the past few years with almost all interaction taking place online, we can begin to understand the urgent need to reach out to the 22% of the adult population who are without the digital skills they need for everyday life. Now, further statistics can help determine whether your centre decides to offer this essential digital skills qualification. An estimated 9 million people, that's 16%, are unable to use the internet or devices without assistance. 6.5 million, that's 12% of people, cannot open apps. 2/3, that's 66% of those online, have not used the internet or digital apps and tools to manage their health. 27% of those in full-time education are concerned their digital skills are not good enough. And then finally, 20% of the UK workforce do not believe their digital skills are good enough. Now, adequate digital skills can have an impact upon social mobility, so there's a good reason for your learners to want to achieve this qualification, either for their CV or to improve their personal lives, both financially and in opening up new avenues for their social lives. People who are less digitally engaged will spend an average of £348 more per year on household bills. People with an annual household income of £50,000 or more are 40% more likely to have foundation digital skills than those earning less than £17,500. People with an impairment are 25% less likely to have the skills to access devices and get online by themselves. And 4 in 10 benefit claimants have very low digital engagement. And then again, finally, 61% of highly digital citizens have used the internet to successfully apply for a job. So let's just start off at the beginning of the journey. Having a comprehensive initial assessment and induction stage is going to be vital, as learners may be starting their EDSQ qualification after many months or years out of learning, and centres will need to ensure the learner firstly can enter the programme of study at the right level that's appropriate to them. And secondly, the assessment also allows the learner to be able to plan their individual achievable learning goals. So please plan in your induction activities in a way that fully assesses your learner's starting points and potential. Initial assessments can help the tutor or assessor to ascertain any special learning requirements, disclose any information that needs to be shared, and allow for individual requirements to be planned and met. Now, the digital entitlement will support learners with no or low digital skills. They will be fully funded, and a condition of that funding is that the learner sits an initial assessment to identify the level they're working towards. Centres must carry out an initial assessment using current assessment tools based on the national standards for essential digital skills, carry out an appropriate diagnostic assessment to inform and structure a learner file to use as a basis for a programme of study, enrol the learner on a level above what they were assessed and be able to provide evidence of this, deliver ongoing assessment to support learning, record the evidence of all assessment outcomes. NCFE can provide diagnostic and skills assessment tools to support the essential digital skills qualification. Designed in partnership with employability practitioners and adult education specialists, Skills Work is a test that measures learners' core skills. Learners then receive a tailored learning plan based on their skills gap, supporting them to improve in vital areas to achieve success in life and work. If you would like to require more information or request a demonstration from the skills assessment team, please email using the address you can see on the screen. Now moving on to the essential digital skills content. The Essential Digital Skills qualification at entry level 3 is designed for adults with little or no prior experience of using digital devices or the internet. At level 1, the qualification is for adults with some experience of using digital devices and the internet, but lacking secure basic digital skills. Both the qualifications are assessed by an online multiple choice question paper and a task-based assessment. There may be some tasks that need to be observed, such as sending a text message, video calling, or making a social media post, as these are very difficult to assess during the assessment. This document comes from the Department of Education and contains the standards for all the essential digital skills qualifications and contains detailed information on what each standard means. It is useful to refer to this alongside the qualification specification that you'll find on our website. Now, there are 5 sections that make up the Essential Digital Skills qualification. Being safe and responsible online and using devices and handling information may be best to be planned in at the start of your delivery for learners at entry level 3. It would also be useful but not essential to cover the communication section before making online transactions, as learners will need to have an email address set up before they're able to make any online transactions. You can now see the guided learn hours for each section. The completion of all mandatory content to include the controlled assessment is completed under supervised conditions. Therefore, guided learn hours and the total qualification time are identical. Now, to make the cross-referencing the assessment and quality assurance easier, we've used a sequential numbering system for each section of content. The learning outcomes for being safe and responsible online are listed on this slide, and you'll also find them in the qualification specification in the materials section on our website, which we will cover a little bit later on. This slide is useful to compare the differences between the levels. So for instance, at entry level 3, learners need to have an awareness of online risks and threats and be able to use simple methods to protect the device from online risks and threats. At level 1, learners need to be able to protect devices and data from online risks and threats. At level 1, learners need to be able to back up data and use a cloud provider and use appropriate language and behaviour, whereas at entry level 3, this is not covered. Using devices and handling information covers content such as using devices, finding and evaluating information, managing and storing information, identifying and solving technical problems. We can see how the content differs between the levels, with learners needing to understand hierarchy and tagging for efficient information retrieval at level 1, where at entry level 3, learners only need to be able to open and read files and have appropriate naming conventions. Creating and editing section covers creating and editing documents using a suitable application to edit and format information, including text, numbers, and graphics at entry level 3, and also tables, graphics, and charts at level 1, along with edit, sorting, processing, format, and chart numerical data at level 1. Capturing and saving images, sound, and video at entry level 3, and also editing and enhancing an image at level 1. The online communication section covers all forms of online communication, sharing information online, and also covers digital footprint and how learners can take steps to manage their online identity. The digital transactions section covers using online services and buying securely online. At level 1, learners need to be able to make comparisons and be able to manage account settings, whereas at entry level 3, learners only need to be able to make a purchase and submit a form while complying with verification checks. Now we're going to have a look at the assessment structure. Now the assessment consists of 2 components. So you've got section A, which is the knowledge section, and section B, which is the skills. You can now see the percentage weighting at entry level 3 and level 1 for section A, the knowledge. The assessment is the process of measuring a learner's skill, knowledge, and understanding against the standards set in the qualification. This qualification is externally set, internally marked, and externally quality assured. You can now see the approximate percentage weightings for entry level 3 and level 1 for section B, the skills. Completing both section A and B will give 1 mark for the assessment, reporting either a pass or a fail. Learners will be entitled to unlimited resets. However, they will not be permitted to resit the same assessment. If a learner has attempted all live papers, they will not be able to reset until a new version is available. If a learner requires a reset, they will need to sit both sections of the assessment, so that's section A and B. And if a learner does not achieve their assessment, they should have 2 weeks of teaching and learning before resitting it. All assessments must be internally quality assessed and submitted to EQA, which triggers the EQA process. All results need to be checked and banked by your EQA. For any failed results, you can contact your EQA and they can bank the failed result to allow the centre to make a new booking. Centres can, however, apply for direct claim status after their first EQA review. For both entry level 3 and level 1, there is an online multiple choice question section for section A, followed by a skills task for section B. At entry level 3, there are a maximum of 30 marks available for the multiple choice section, and level 1 there are 17 marks available. For section B, the task-based paper, there are 28 marks available at entry level 3 and 42 marks at level 1. Now, as previously mentioned, the qualifications are externally set by NCFE, then internally assessed, and the assessments are set under controlled conditions. At entry level 3, 85 minutes are allowed, with 20 minutes for the multiple choice question paper and 65 minutes for the task-based paper. Level 1, 145 minutes are allowed, with 25 minutes for the multiple choice question paper and 120 minutes for the task-based paper. If a learner completes paper A in less than the allocated time, they can still only take the 65 minutes of the 120 minutes left for paper B. The paper must be sat in one sitting. However, a 15-minute supervised break is built into the platform between section A and B, which can be ended before the 15 minutes if necessary. For section A, the multiple choice section, there is only one possible correct answer. Here we have an example of a question from the entry level 3 sample paper. This question assesses the content from the Being Safe and Responsible Online section. I'll give you a moment just to read and record your answer. Which one of the following is a possible physical stress caused by a computer? And the answer is option D. The next question assesses learners' knowledge of the using devices content. Again, I'll just give you a brief moment just to read and record your answer. And of course, the answer is D, to search for a website. This is an example of the multiple choice question at level 1 from the Transaction Digital section. Again, I'll give you a moment just to read the question and record your answer. The answer is B, so well done if you got that correct. Now, this next question relates to digital communication. Again, read the question and the available options and record your answer. Yep, the answer is, of course, D. You might like to use these different types of questions as part of your delivery with learners, stating why the other 3 options would not be appropriate. Now, for section B, this is an example of an entry level 3 task that would be set to assess learners' ability to use online digital communication. The scenario is set out at the beginning, and then the learner must download and save the phone for sale document, apply formatting to the document, use the cut and the paste facility, resize and align an image. The learner will then need to upload the completed document after editing and saving. This is a sample question that learners would need to complete in the task-based part of the assessment at level 1. Again, the scenario is placed at the start of the question and learners download the do's and don'ts document that has already been created. At level 1, they're using additional picture formatting tools such as brightness and contrast, resizing and applying a filter to an image, along with inserting and creating a table and copying and pasting information into the table, along with other formatting tools. The do's and don'ts document then needs to be saved in local storage. Depending on how your PCs are set up, this could be on your network drive or on the PC's hard drive. And a screenshot of the do's and don'ts document saved in the local storage locations required in addition to the document itself. So the learner will be uploading 2 documents here. After the assessment, anything stored and successfully uploaded by the learners should then be destroyed, as it does form part of the assessment materials. The mark scheme here is for the previous level 1 question. It's fairly detailed, showing how the marks will be allocated if learners don't complete the task with complete accuracy. So for instance, in part A and B, if learners don't get the correct number of rows or columns for their table, or if they only place one image in the right place rather than the two required for both marks, the explicit nature of the mark scheme should make it simple to mark learners' work so that standardisation within the centre is quite straightforward. We have made a short recording to show how you could standardise the task-based section, and you'll find this on our delivery support page on our website. Okay, we'll now move on to delivery and QualHub, and the key areas you'll need for a successful delivery of the EDSQ programme. Now, thinking about your delivery and getting to know your learners and understand what's brought them to you for this essential digital skills qualification will be vital in engaging them fully with the content and enabling you to tailor your teaching so that it's relevant and it'll fit in with their lives. So if you already have learners registered for EDSQ, what sort of information would you already know about them in terms of demographics, the age, any learning difficulties, any obstacles to engagement? You might know that they're local, if they've been referred by a job centre. You might know that there's a mixed age range. Now, if we just take a look at the types of people represented in this slide, can you think of any hooks from the content that will help these people benefit from the qualification and how that will impact upon your ability to engage them? What barriers might they have to learning and how could these be overcome? Okay, so now let's look at what a typical educator and learner journey looks like for the Essential Digital Skills qualification. Currently, we are at the onboarding stage, and following this webinar and the resources that we guide you to, you should be in a position to begin planning your course delivery and taking your learners through their initial and diagnostic assessment. After you deliver the subject content and the learner hopefully finds it engaging so that they learn the content, they will then be ready to review what they've learned, prepare for their assessment, and then finally take the assessment. Now, the final stage for you as a teacher or assessor after your learners have their results is to review what has gone well with your delivery and what can be improved, and then use this feedback to plan for your next cohort of learners, or for learners who may need further teaching and learning before reset. Now, moving on to NCFE's website and how you can access vital information for EDSQ. The web address can be seen on the screen now, and this will take you to our landing page. If you select the qualification, then delivery support, you will see Essential Digital Skills has its own page for you to select. This will take you to the delivery support page, a central point for all the support and information you're going to need for the delivery of the Essential Digital Skills. The qualification information tile will give you access to all the relevant qualification information and support guidance for Essential Digital Skills by selecting the links available. These links will give you access to the qualification information pages. The online sample assessment will give you access to our entry level 3 and level 1 sample assessment material. The training and events pages will give you access to registering on up and coming CPD sessions and drop-in clinics. And other support available such as tutor and IQA support, teaching and learning resources, information on our skills assessment tool, and registration to our Teach, Share, Transform Best Practice Network. Now, the most important documents that you'll find on the information page is the qual spec. I recommend you always go to this document as it is updated. So if you download and save it, always ensure you're using the most recent version. The version number will be noted on the bottom left of the spec. From the qualification information page, you can either select either tab to access support material, assessment material, and teacher material. Within this section, you can download the qual spec, as previously mentioned, along with the support handbook and qualification fact sheet. When you select the assessment materials, you can access the assessor guidance for the controlled assessment, the regulations for conduct, along with user guides. Now, it's important to mention here for the live assessment, you will need to register and book the EDSQ controlled assessment on the portal. The portal will transfer the booking directly to Surpass. You will then need to download and install Surpass Viewer. Surpass Viewer is the web browser that assessors and IQAs will need access to the Surpass system after the assessment has taken place to mark Section B. Now we'll take a look at the support available to you. Now let's turn to the support that you can expect from NCFE going forward. The provider development team are committed to NCFE's core purpose of promoting and advancing learning. To achieve this, we plan to engage with you in curriculum consultations at 3 different stages. Induction as part of your onboarding to get you started with delivery and prepare you for pre-assessment preparation. Signposting to sample papers and accessing teaching and learning resources. Now, I know some of you may have already had your initial consultations, but we will be in touch with all centres who are given approval for EDSQ. Now, at midpoint, to check on delivery and signpost you to any key quality assurance processes in preparation for live assessments, which for many of you, the time frame may vary depending on your delivery model. So we will time our consultations accordingly. And then your final review to discuss and reflect on the delivery. The provider development team will support teaching staff through the onboarding period, where support interventions and events will be made available to access. This will include the onboarding webinar you're watching now to get you started with delivery, a monthly drop-in clinic so we can answer any questions from this onboarding. We will also support centres with an ongoing programme of CPD, looking at topical and relevant areas of interest, and these will take place once a quarter. To support your delivery, we have several learning resource options available through the Teaching Material tab on the website. These resources are designed to be used in all your classroom settings and can be shared on your VLE. The first option we have for you are our freely downloadable schemes of work. The 5 schemes of work for each qualification are written to cover each of the qualification sections. The schemes include suggested learning activities, timings, additional resource ideas, including links to websites, videos, and online articles. They are an essential starting point for any centre. Within this section, you'll have access to the Essential Digital Skills Glossary. Our second option is to purchase the Digital Resource Pack. This pack is an all-in-one digital package of resources for you to support your learners. The package includes 23 sessions of engaging PowerPoints that cover all the learning outcomes. All PowerPoint slides can be altered to allow flexibility for tutors to make more learner cohort-specific examples, such as web links, etc. Associated worksheets and supporting materials for the sessions. A digital learner workbook that can be shared with all your learners as a great reference point and a place to save examples of their work. This digital resource pack is versatile and it's editable, and it's an easy way to support classroom delivery. This pack combined with the freely downloadable schemes of work complete the set. Centres purchasing this digital package of resources can use them with unlimited number of tutors and registered learners. The one-off fee will include any updates and any revisions to the learning materials if and when required. The third option would be our resource pack that does not have the digital learner workbook included. So this pack contains the 23 PowerPoints, worksheets, and where relevant spreadsheets and images to support in classroom delivery. Again, you are free to change the order of the PowerPoints to suit your learner requirements. So for example, they are suggested starter activities, and these can be completed either before or after outlining the session learning outcomes, or you may wish to add an image, a community forum link, or a social media page that's relevant to your specific group of learners, which is a great opportunity to provide local application of learning. A sample pack is available to download for either of the resource pack options, which is a good opportunity for you to review prior to purchasing, and you can do this on the checkout page before you purchase. And finally, our learning resource offer is to have the learner workbooks printed for you. And on-demand printing for learner workbooks, you can also order binders to store the workbooks in. The learner workbook complements the resource pack by providing a comprehensive overview of the qualification. The workbooks contain clear and engaging directions for learners to refer to later, as well as practice activities to help recap and recall learning. The content team welcome any suggestions that you would like to see in future resources, so please do get in touch if you have any ideas you would like to put forward. Now, I would just like to ask the question that was started with at the very beginning. Please refer to your starting score and just record down your new score. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low and 10 being high, how would you rate your current confidence level now regarding your knowledge and understanding of the essential digital skills qualification? Now, if you have any questions, especially if your confidence score is low, please do register onto our next available drop-in clinic. You will find this on our Essential Digital Skills page on our website under Training and Events. Before we finish today, I would just like to run through some key contacts with you. Please contact the provider development team for support related to teaching and learning, support with planning and preparation for assessments and CPD. Your account manager will support you with any additional products and developments. And the customer support team are there as the first line of inquiry regarding the portal, registering your learners and Surpass. Now, I've also included a contact email for our skills assessment team if you're interested in arranging a demo of our assessment tools. Okay, we've reached the end of today's onboarding session. Many thanks for attending. Please do visit our EDSQ support page so you can register for drop-in clinics if you have any further questions, or register for upcoming CPD sessions. We really do rely on your feedback and ideas to inform our CPD activities. Please scan the QR code or follow the link on the screen. Your feedback would be greatly appreciated. All I've got to say is take care, goodbye, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.